It was the beautiful version of Amazing Grace by Judy Collins in 1970. This is Freedom Fighters for America Radio. Back to Tom Heneghan and the Stu Webb Intel Hour.
Tom?
Yes, Stu.
The one question that every American that I've come across keeps asking, patriotic Americans, just average Americans, that keep asking the question, when are these people going to justice? And they keep asking the same question, why doesn't somebody inside the government arrest these criminals?
Well, one of the reasons is the media. We have this criminal media, which is controlled by the Mossad and the NSA, that operates, and the NSA is the real problem. It has to be removed. It has to be dealt with. I mean, the NSA was involved in such criminal activity, it's beyond belief. I mean, they helped script 9/11. They were involved in a lot of black ops, spying on the American people. I can tell you, Stu, the secrets of 9/11 are out now. People know what took place. We know that in August of 2001, that illegal, treasonous White House occupunk, nation-wrecking, constitution-shredding, homosexual in the closet, election-stealing, cocaine-snorting, AWOL war criminal, and U.S. Treasury embezzler George W. Bush fraud signed an executive order basically preempting FBI's Able Danger Anti-Terrorist Task Force to stand down and stop all their anti-terrorist investigations on U.S. soil, and specifically ordered that John P. O'Neill's FBI investigation into the Israeli Mossad infiltrated al-Qaeda cells in Minneapolis stop. That's in front of a national security grand jury now. Of course, O'Neill later died in the 9/11 World Trade Center attacks on New York City. Now, Stu, the NSA scripted all that. They scripted the urban moving system cells in New Jersey, where that was linked to 9/11. The NSA was involved in a stellar wind program that was actually spying on the Able Danger people, finding out what they knew about 9/11. It was called Able Providence, which was basically spying on the people that were trying to stop 9/11. Remember, Cheney met with the Taliban in February of 2001 about an oil pipeline to go through Afghanistan. Those are the notes he refused ever to turn over. Claimed executive privilege to commit treason, and the judicial system agreed with him. That's how bad it's got in this country. Remember, a lot of that stuff was stolen out of the National Archives by Clinton stooge, Mossad agent, and NSA enabler Sandy Berger. That's the Bush-Clinton crime family syndicate, operating in duality to destroy the United States. And it's all tied to the NSA. And remember, every time you turn on the TV and you put on one of these network programs, there is a 14-second delay on all NSA. The NSA has a 14-second trigger. So if somebody says something on the air that they don't like, they can remove you. They can remove the broadcast immediately. So if you think you got a free press, you certainly don't. You got a free press when you listen to us, folks. That's who you're listening to. That's where you get the truth. Hey, our Stu Webb and myself, are we geniuses? No, we're just patriots. You don't have to be a genius to understand what's going on. All you have to do is read and write and understand what they've done to our country. The activities and the events we've watched over the years should tell you what we're living under. We're living in a Gestapo state run by Nazis and socialists, Fabian socialists.
How can the American people get involved to put a stop to this and to turn it around?
As I explained the other night, you have to organize your neighborhoods. You have to get people to listen to our program. You have to have meetings of your revolutionary cells on a nightly basis. Push will come to shove when the government will try something outrageous, which will be their attempt to finalize the destruction of the Constitution. And that's when the resistance begins. And that's when the American people pivot. And that means removal of this current government from power. There are people, there are elements of the U.S. military that will cooperate. Trust me.
And the Declaration of Independence gives every American the right, under the law, and the authority to remove and replace these people.
That's correct. You got to get rid of this filth from American soil. We have no other choice. And it has to be done the hard way. History tells us that. Killing people in cold blood for political and financial purposes, like Bush did. Clinton, the assassination of John F. Kennedy Jr., so his wife would have a free ride in New York State in 2000. That's, you know, that is Hillary bitch.
Tory lesbian, Rodenhurst, Clinton.
Obama, who's already sabotaged every event, every attempt to get back money for the American people that is parked offshore and get it back in the U.S. Treasury. Here's one of the great frauds of all time, totally, completely created by the U.S. media. Remember, McCain would not have been much better, but he did not like Bush.
But yet McCain was deeply in bed with Leonard Millman in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and there is a story up there under table of contents on StuWebb.com, other top stories about McCain and offshore accounts and his wife and you know, putting trust in their name, like the little McCain Bloggett, I call her. She calls herself McCain Bloggett or something, and Twitters all the time, and the wannabe journalist, the new GOP, they call it. Well, if this is the new GOP, America, I mean, it's going to continue the next generation of crime syndicate stooges.
Well, I'll tell you what, there'll be a country to operate in pretty soon. So they're going to have to go somewhere else to do their stoogery. But they certainly done a good job here, operating with the Mossad and the other crap to destroy our country. And they still want to control it because there's still enough people left in this country that pay taxes that they can move the money from. That's how they look at it.
They're psychopaths, aren't they, Tom? I mean, they're like nutcases. If I can't have it, I'll just destroy it. Is their attitude, isn't this?
That is clearly their attitude. Yes, the sociopath attitude, and it has no. You know, you're not going to change these people because they basically worship Satan. You're familiar with that stuff, Stu. You're familiar with what they do.
Yes. Basically, the Illuminati, the Skull and Bones, these what is known as the Knights Templar bankers, the 100 bankers. And I might add to this because, you know, I've got my earful recently of the truth behind the Knights Templars. And I want people to understand this. Apparently, they were the guardians of the Grail, guardians of a piece of Christ's cross. They were there to guard the Ten Commandments and the Holy Grail, etc. And it's like an army of Christians out there over the years. And they were infiltrated heavily in about the 11th to 12th century. Of course, France, during the Inquisition, the king decided he was going to take all their heads off or get rid of them. And, of course, he was looking at them as being very evil. And what he was after was the heads of those, the head honchos. And these were what they referred to as the 100 bankers. Now, what's interesting over the years, of course, Rothschild, Baron Rothschild and others in the 15th century and everything was issuing and coining basically paper. We'll take your gold and your jewels and we'll take and put it in our safe and we'll issue you paper. And then later when the printing presses came about, you know, we now know it as the Federal Reserve. But I want to emphasize on something. I've got my earful. And I'm quite accurate on the information now. And I didn't have it before. And that is, these 100, what's known as the Knights Templar